So I'm going to have you imagine yourself on a date. Okay.
Hmm.
And this date's starts off pretty well, but then all of a sudden that person on their phone a lot.
Yeah.
How annoying would that be?
That would be ridiculously annoying. I'm so glad that didn't happen when we were dating.
I know. We
I
didn't
don't think
have.
that we'd make it this far.
No, we're on our phone all the time.
Yeah.
But now imagine you find out that your date is kind of trying to murder you.
Well, then that's definitely not a second date.
No, not at all. You're
No.
not trying to murder you. You don't want it. Well, guess what? That is actually the plot of the movie Drop. And we just saw it this past week, and we have some thoughts on this movie.
Let's talk about it.
Starting transmission.
Hey everyone, this is JD, and I have my beautiful wife here, Tasha, with me.
Hi, guys.
And we're actually going to talk today about the movie Drop. And you know what? I have my wife on with me today because this is kind of a date movie in a weird way.
I think it is. I think it's fun, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, so we'll go into our reasonings behind that later in the episode. But I just kind of want to give you guys a quick overview of the movie. We're going to do no spoilers because this is one of those movies you kind of want to go in blind, especially for the ending. I know some stuff gets given away in the trailers, but I don't want to give too much away. So we won't do this is a no spoilers review of the movie Drop. To start off things, what were your initial thoughts on the movie?
Well, first of all, we saw it for a Secret Movie Monday, and that was fun. I was really glad that this was the movie that we were seeing because, the trailers had me intrigued. So, and I've heard some things about it from other people who have actually seen it beforehand, and it sounded pretty good. So I was excited to see it, and I have to say I was not disappointed.
Yeah, I think overall it's a good little murder mystery movie. You're like, okay, who's the actual bad guy in the film? What's causing this? It's a one location scenario type of movie where you're pretty much in this restaurant for about 85% of the movie.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, you're kind of like, who's doing this? Who's torturing this woman? Why does she have to kill her date and stuff like that? And I mean, it has that good amount of tension, I think, in those scenes.
And it makes you wonder the whole time, like, who is making her do this? Who's airdropping her these messages? And it keeps you on your toes and has you looking around the entire room the entire time, which is really fun. Yeah. And I swear, I think I thought 3 or 4 different people were the person until they finally revealed who it was.
And you're like, wait, is that guy? Is that girl? Is that guy? And then sooner or later somebody dies, and you're like, well, it's obviously not that guy.
Wasn't that one?
So, overall, the tension of this movie was really good. I think they did a really good job of kind of keeping you on your toes.
Mm-hmm.
And for a PG-13 horror movie, or I guess a PG-13 thriller, nothing bad happens in it.
It was fun.
Yeah, it's a good one. If you're on a date, you probably want to go see this one. So let's talk about the cast of the movie before we go any further. So you have the 2 main actors in this movie is Megan Faye and Brandon Sklenar. I think I'm butchering his name wrong. That's kind of what it looks like. You probably won't recognize a lot of these names. A lot of them, these two have pretty much done a lot of TV shows, mini movies, and more independent films. Probably the most recognizable name out of these two is going to be Brandon Sklenar. Sklenar? I'm going to butcher his name all night long. I'm going to say it 50 different ways tonight. But he is from 1923, and that's one of the Yellowstone spinoffs.
Oh, okay.
So you've probably seen him on Yellowstone, or not Yellowstone, but one of the spinoffs. We don't watch Yellowstone, fortunately. No. We haven't got to that cowboy era in our relationship yet.
It's only been 13 years, but it's not there yet.
Yeah. But yeah, these are the 2 main cast members. So what did you think of Megan's performance in the movie?
I thought she did a great job. I mean, I enjoyed her relationship with her sister in the begining. Okay. I thought it was really, really cute how they interacted, and it was just really relatable and fun because they were very close and it was cute. I appreciated her, just the way that she handled the entire situation in the restaurant. I thought she did a really great job. Even there are points where she has to pretend like she's not getting any text messages or whatever, and she has to just kind of proceed going forward with the date and try to make it comfortable. I mean, I think she does a really good job transitioning to really make it believable that she's not in any danger.
Yeah. And she's not scared of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree with you, what you said right there. I think she did an amazing job. Her performance was great. You did feel a lot of that anxiety from her. This is a woman that hasn't been on a date, she says, for several years now, since what happened to her ex-husband. But spoilers, we won't go in that part. But she hasn't been on a date in a long time, and she has anxiety of being on the first date. She has the jitters of somebody's airdropping her all these cryptic messages. She has all that stuff going on with her, and she's still able to keep her composure, but also you can see in her eyes and everything, she's freaking out.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's no surprise, in the trailer they show that her family's in danger. There's somebody in her house, and so she has to try to do everything that this guy's telling her to do, otherwise her family's going to be hurt. And so she does a great job of like trying to maintain that calm while doing some of the things that she's told to do, and I mean, handling the situation better than I think I would.
Yeah.
I think I would have just bolted out of there and ran home. I don't know if I would have done what she did. It was crazy. So it was really interesting.
It makes you think, what would you do when you're in this type of situation?
Yeah, it does.
And as for the guy, Brandon, who plays Henry, the date, I want to be honest with you on this part.
Okay.
I didn't like his delivery and his lines. That was my personal take. Mm-hmm. I felt like he was too calm for everything that's going on. And it's very juxtaposed to what she was going through in her head. He's like, la da 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 da.
Kind of. This is where we kind of disagree a little bit.
Okay.
Because I thought that he was, I mean, if you take a step back and you kind of look at it from his perspective, he doesn't know what's going on. He does know in the beginning that she's getting these airdrop messages. And he does try to help her a little bit to try to figure out who it could be. So he kind of walks around the perimeter and is like, here's 50 feet around. Again, this is in the trailers. You kind of see this. So, he does kind of know that she was getting airdrop messages, but he doesn't know that it's continuing. But I think that he has an idea. So he's just kind of sitting back and watching. And then also, they had been talking for like 3 months, and he knew that she was skeptical about going on a date. Mm-hmm. And so I think he's chalking it up to the fact that, she's got first date jitters. It's been a long time. She's nervous about her son at home. And so I think that there was just a lot. He was being respectful. So I kind of saw it from that point of view.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that. I can see what your point is.
But I also see what you're saying too.
Yes.
I feel like, in the real world,
there's 20 red flags.
Yeah, there were a lot of red flags. He should have been out of there in 2 seconds because she's on her phone the whole time. She's being weird. She said she lost something, and it just
and she's lying about stuff.
So there's like all this weird stuff that I think that in the real world he wouldn't have stayed that long.
No. Yeah, I don't think he would have.
But in the movie world, I thought it was done well.
Yeah. And as for the other supporting cast, like the sister, I think that she did a pretty good job.
I loved her. I loved the sister.
She was very funny. She's very jokative too.
She was, and you just like immediately like liked her. Just whenever you met her. So I thought she was really good.
Yeah, and then you also had there's several people in the restaurant that you get to know, and be obvious. Once you get to know all these main characters and they're focusing on these side characters, one of them is the person behind the thing.
Yeah.
But you don't know which one. But you do get to see like several characters. And I think they all did a great job making you believe that they were the bad guy. And some were like, they're like trying to like play it off.
Well, that's why I thought like 3 or 4 different people were the bad guy, because they would focus on these certain people and you'd be like, oh, it's that person. Oh, nope, it's that person. Yep. And then you're like, oh, it's going to be that guy over there. And then nah, it's none of them. And then one of them dies, and you're like, oh, I guess it's definitely not that one.
Not that freaky guy.
But there were some really good little twists in there too that, you think, oh, this is how she's going to get out of the situation. And then it doesn't go that way. And like, oh, wow. So I thought it was really fun. It really kept you on your toes. It was a good pace.
Yes, it was.
I felt like, even though you're just basically, like you said, sitting in the diner or the restaurant. Yeah. Like the whole time you're in the restaurant, you felt like there was just so much going on that like I felt like I knew that restaurant inside and out. I could have told you where like the bread was at or something.
Yeah, because they did a really good job of setting up the whole like restaurant and where everything is located, where the bathroom was, where the hostess desk was, where the bar was, where everybody was seated, where the waiter was at all times, and you kind of knew everything was going on. So when you're trying to figure out like who is doing this, and in this day and age, everybody's on their cell phone.
Oh, yeah.
So they would cut to like all these random people, and they would all be on their cell phone. So you're like,
because you think surely like, oh, you're going to be able to tell who it is because they're going to be on their phone. But then like everybody's on their phone, and you're like, well, I guess you can't use that as your clue.
No, they did a great job of making you think otherwise.
They did, yeah. It was fun. I thought some of the characters that were in the restaurant were really, really good.
Yeah.
Specifically the waiter.
Oh, yes. The waiter was hilarious.
He was funny.
So Jeffrey Self, another actor, he played the waiter. I don't think I recognize him from anything. No. Yeah, so he did a great job being that kind of goofy waiter who's on his first day of the job and he's trying to like get the good tip,
Yep. He was a suspect.
Yeah, very early on too. You have anything else you want to talk about any of the cast members that you thought?
I thought the little boy did a good job. He was cute. And I would have fought for him too.
Next up, we'll talk about the director of the movie. The director is Christopher Landon. Mm-hmm. You might recognize his movies. He did the Happy Death Day movies.
Oh, I like those.
The one, kind of like the horror version of Groundhog's Day. Mm-hmm. Those were really fun.
Those are so much fun. Yeah.
He also directed Freaky. I don't know if you remember this one. It was like a weird Freaky Friday horror movie where it was a serial killer and the girl's bodies were switched.
That was such a good movie.
Yes, he also directed that one too.
Oh, okay.
And then, me personally, he directed one of my favorite Paranormal Activities, and that was Paranormal Activities Marked Ones. Actually, one of my favorite ones. I like that one.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. It's so outside the main storyline of Paranormal Activities.
Oh, okay.
And he actually wrote a lot of the Paranormal Activities movies. I think from either 3 or 4 onward, he wrote most of them.
I didn't know that.
So yeah, so he's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
He was supposed to direct the new Scream movie, but after all of the drama that happened with the last Scream movie, he actually left the production as a director. So
I don't blame him.
So, unfortunately. But you know what? He did an amazing job in this movie. I think this is actually very much a Chris Landon movie. If you've seen Happy Death Day, if you've seen it, Freaky, it has the same sense of humor, the same kind of thing. And he uses a lot of unknown actors in his movie, which I think makes the movie stand out a lot better.
I do like that. Yeah, I do like that. It's better than always getting the same characters in every movie, It's nice to find somebody new. Like this, the leading lady.
Yeah.
She was so great. And
as for the writers, though, here's what I did for the writers. So the writers are Jillian Jacobs and Chris Roach. They actually worked together a couple of times before this. They worked on some Blumhouse movies, Truth or Dare, which we actually never saw. Yeah. A lot of people said it wasn't good, but we never saw that one. And Fantasy Island. These 2 movies weren't great movies, writing wise. So you go into this movie and think, is it going to really be as good? And I think actually they stepped it up a lot.
Good.
So I think they did a really good job with Drop. So I mean, give them kudos on that one.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they did a great job. I think if I had any criticism, not necessarily for the writers, it would be for the trailer editor. I think they gave too much away in the trailer.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, because there's some big twists that come, and that trailer does give away a lot of those.
So I wouldn't say anything about the writing because, I mean, I felt like I walked in and I knew what I was going to get into because I saw everything in the trailer. Yeah. So other than that, though, but I thought that the writing was good.
All right. So what are some of your final thoughts on the movie?
I would say it was a fun movie, and I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the suspense of it and watching it kind of unfold. And definitely the entire time, I have to admit, I was thinking, what the heck would I do if I were in her situation? Which is fun. Those are some of my favorite movies whenever I can really immerse myself in the movie and I feel like I'm part of it. Yes. So I really did enjoy that. And I think I would see it again, honestly.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the movie. It's one of those kind of fun movies that you could put on just randomly on the TV one day, or if you're watching TV, you see it, you'll sit and watch it. There's not many movies like that. We just kind of want to just watch. And it's a good, fun movie. There's not much to it in the sense that I need to sit and pay attention. Because once you've watched the movie, then it becomes a moment to kind of see if you can figure out all the details of the movie. Like, oh, how did I miss that the first time? So this is one I'm more likely to rewatch too. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought the cast was amazing. I thought the director and the writers did a great job on this one. And I'd recommend if you haven't thought about seeing this one, I would say go ahead and see it.
Yeah, I would too. Definitely. Plan on seeing it twice because I do think you're going to want to see it a second time just to see everything that you missed the first time.
Yep. One of the main reasons I brought my wife along this time was because she does these ratings called the date night ratings. So what we're going to do with this one is she's going to rate the movie whether or not it should be used for a date night.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 being no, don't go say it's on a date. To 10, yeah, go see it on a date night.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you give it?
Honestly, I would give it a 9.
A 9?
Yeah.
Seems so high.
I know, but it was so much fun. And I feel like regardless of where you're at in your relationship, if it's a first date or if you've been together for 13 years, it's a fun movie to go to. And then, you know, what I told you afterwards, it's like, it kind of gives you that like rock bottom of a date. Like no matter what, this date is going to be better than this. So yeah, so I think it's a 9.
9? Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
I think so. But day night wise, I think I guess you'd be in it.
Yeah. You enjoyed going on a date with me at the movies?
Yes, I did.
Good. I'm glad.
So next up, we have what I call the Figgy Pop film chart. And you'll see it right here on the screen right now. You'll see all the previous movies we've seen and where I rank them on this chart. So the way this chart works is that we have from no fun to fun on the going up. These are whether the movie was a boring movie to go see, or was it a really fun movie to go see? And at the bottom we have bad to good. So was it a really bad movie up to a really good movie? And you can see a mixture of all the movies we've seen, kind of get an idea of what they look like. On this movie, I am moving this right here to a little bit higher on the fun chart. The good, it's kind of in the middle. So it's right kind of below where Companion was and when we saw Companion.
Yeah.
Yep. That's kind of where I put there.
A little less fun than Companion?
I think a little less good for Companion. Not as much fun as Companion. Just not as good as Companion.
Okay.
It's kind of where I have it right now.
Yeah. I think I would agree with that.
Yep.
And Companion was a really fun movie and it was a pretty good movie. So yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. Now for our final information is how we're going to rank the movies. So it's 1 to 10. 1 being a bad movie, 10 being a good movie. So outside of it being a date movie, outside of it being fun or good, what do you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm going to put it more around like the 5. Can I put it like 5.5?
Yeah, I can shoot 5.5.
Yeah.
Good choice.
As much as I would agree with it being a date movie, I think it is kind of predictable and they gave away so much in the trailer that I can't say it's like one of the best movies, you know? It was definitely a fun movie and I definitely enjoyed myself at it, but it was just a little bit too predictable for me to put it any higher. Okay,
good. All right. For me, I'm actually going to give it a 5. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm right down the middle of this one. You know, it was good. It had some good stuff in it. Had some bad stuff in it. It, like my wife said right now, it was very predictable. And that kind of hurts a little bit. You pretty much guess. And there's a lot of little plot holes in here too that you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
How did we get from A to B there?
Now, as much as like I couldn't guess who really, like that was fun, like trying to figure out the who. But you just kind of knew what was happening.
Exactly. And you kind of figured it out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the ending kind of made my rating go down from a 6 to a 5.
And the trailer from a 6 to a 5. It was the trailer that really spoiled it for me because it really it gave away something big that I wish I would have not known.
Exactly.
Going into it.
Yep. I totally agree with that. That's pretty much it there. Let's let me know in the comment section down below. Did you guys see the movie? Did you enjoy it if you did see it? Or did you really dislike this movie? I want to know your thoughts and just make sure you write it down in the comment section down below. And also remember to hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're notified when new videos get posted online. And until next time, this is JD.
And Tasha.
And this is the Figgy Pop Collector Channel.
Bye.
That concludes a Figgy Pop transmission.
Now I'm going to actually, hold on. I'm going to try that now.
You do that something.
You do.
When I make you go. Hold on. My eyes are watering a little bit.
She's crying. So much this movie means to her. She's tearing up. This movie is so sad.
He said he wanted to go on a date with me again. My eyes watering.
Chill. Just kidding.
Oh, sorry. Whew. All these years, you still get me like that.
I know. All right. It's not going to turn you off in your date or... Oh, I don't want to say that.
My chair's laughing.
It's not going to... No, I'm going to erase that part.
Okay.
All right.
Blooper.